The Fox and the Crow. One day, a hungry fox was searching for food. He searched and searched everywhere, but he could find nothing to eat. Then he saw a crow flying with a fine piece of cheese in her beak. "That cheese is for me," said the fox, and he started following the crow. The crow sat on a branch and was about to eat the cheese when the fox shouted from below, "Good day, Mistress Crow!" The crow was surprised and looked down at the fox. The cunning fox said to the crow, "How well you are looking today! How fine your feathers are! How bright is your eye! What exquisite beauty!" exclaimed the fox. Then the fox said, "Please let me hear your voice, which I'm sure will surpass all the others. Then I will declare you the Queen of Birds." The crow was truly delighted by the compliments, and the foolish crow even thought that her voice was beautiful. The crow lifted up her head and began to caw her best. But the moment she opened her mouth, the cheese fell down, and it was snapped up by the fox. Then the fox said, "You foolish crow, you should never trust flatterers." Ha 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 ha. The crow realized his mistake, and the fox then walked away. The Ant and the Grasshopper. One beautiful summer day, a lazy grasshopper was sitting and enjoying the sun, just as he did every day. Then a hard-working ant passed by, bearing along with great effort an ear of corn that he was taking to his nest. "Why don't you come and chat with me?" asked the grasshopper, "instead of working all day?" "I am saving food for the winter season," said the ant. "I think you should do the same. What will you eat when the weather gets cold? How will you feed your hungry household?" The grasshopper laughed and said, "You are always in such a hurry. Why do you always work and worry?" "Why bother about the winter now?" said the grasshopper. "We have got plenty of food at present." But the ant was very wise and didn't pay attention to Grasshopper's words. He continued to work hard and stored enough food for the winter. The winter came sooner than expected. The grasshopper couldn't even find a place to stay and anything to eat. He went to the ant's house and begged him for food and shelter. "I'm sorry, but I can't help you," the ant said. "I only have room and food for my family. So go and find help somewhere else." "I should have followed the ant's example," the grasshopper said sadly. So, children, the moral of this story is, there's a time for work and there's a time for play. If you play during the time you were supposed to work, then be ready to face the consequences. The Farmer and His Sons. A long time ago, a rich old farmer, who felt that he had not many more days to live, called his sons to his bedside. "My sons," he said, "heed what I have to say to you. Do not on any account sell the estate that has belonged to our family for so many generations. Somewhere on it is hidden a rich treasure. I do not know the exact spot, but it is there, and you will surely find it. Spare no energy and leave no spot unturned in your search." The father died, and no sooner was he in his grave than the sons set to work digging with all their might. They turned up every foot of ground with their spades, and going over the whole farm 2 or 3 times. In spite of all the efforts, they did not find any hidden gold. So they saw seeds of grain as they toiled hard on the farm. Harvest time, when they had settled their accounts and had pocketed a rich profit far greater than that of any of their neighbors, they understood that the treasure their father had told them about was the wealth of a bountiful crop, and that in their industry they had found the treasure. The Goose and the Golden Egg. There once was a countryman who possessed the most wonderful goose you can imagine. Every day when he visited the nest, the goose had laid a beautiful, glittering golden egg. The countryman took the eggs to market and soon began to get rich. But it was not long before he grew impatient with the goose, because she gave him only a single golden egg each day. He was not getting rich fast enough. Then one day, after he had finished counting his money, the idea came to him that he could get all the golden eggs at once by killing the goose and cutting it open. But when he killed the goose, not a single golden egg did he find, and his precious goose was dead. Those who have plenty want more and more, and they end up losing everything they have. The Rooster and the Fox. It was a bright evening, and the sun was sinking on a glorious world. A wise old rooster flew into a tree to roost. He flapped his wings 3 times and crowed loudly. The powerful crow of the rooster was heard across the forest, and it also got the attention of a hungry fox who was searching for food. The fox came near the tree where the rooster was standing, and he thought of a plan to bring the rooster down. Just as the rooster was about to sleep, he saw the red fox standing down. "Have you heard of the wonderful news?" cried the fox in a very joyous and excited manner. "What news?" asked the rooster calmly. The rooster was afraid of the fox, and he knew that the fox was here with some wicked plans. Your family and mine and all other animals have agreed to forget their differences and live in peace and friendship from now on forever. Just think of it. I simply cannot wait to embrace you. Do come down, dear friend, and let us celebrate this moment, said the fox. How grand, said the cock. I am certainly delighted by the news. But he spoke in an absent way, and stretching upon tiptoes, seemed to be looking at something afar off. What is it you see? Asked the fox anxiously. Why, it looks to me like a couple of dogs are headed this way. They must have heard the good news But the fox did not wait to hear more. He started to run away. Wait, cried the cock. Why are you running? The dogs are your friends now. Of course, yes, answered the fox. But they might not have heard the news. Besides, I had a very important errand that I had almost forgotten about. The cock smiled as he buried his head in his feathers and went to sleep. He had succeeded in outwitting an enemy that day. The rooster knew that a trickster can be easily tricked. Two travelers and a bear. One day, two men were traveling in company through a forest. Suddenly, a huge bear crashed out of the bush near them. One of the men, thinking of his own safety, climbed the tree nearby. He didn't even try to help his friend who stood on the ground. The other, unable to fight the savage beast alone, threw himself on the ground and lay still, as if he were dead. He had heard that a bear will not touch a dead body. It must have been true, for the bear sniffed at the man's head a while and then, seeming to be satisfied that he was dead, walked away. The man in the tree climbed down. It looked just as if that bear whispered in your ear, he said. What did he tell you? He said, answered the other, that it was not at all wise to keep company with a fellow who would desert his friend in a moment of danger. Remember this, that misfortune is the test of true friendship.